Hello, good morning and welcome to Keep an Eye. You're watching GTV Breakfast and the hashtag to follow all around is hashtag GTV Breakfast. This morning we're coming to you from the Ablekuma South constituency in the Greater Accra region. We're specifically at Lagon. We're only a few minutes away from the Kolebu Teaching Hospital just to my left along the road, and then directly adjacent to us is the St. Mary's Senior High School, or St. Mary's Girls Secondary School, as it used to be known as. Just next to the drain you see behind me is the Kolebu or Korle Sempe Kolebu Manche Palace. And interesting why we're coming to you on this drain. This drain behind me is the main service drain that receives water from the entire constituency, and it ends up in the Korle Lagoon and then it goes into the sea. The drain has also service drains that picks or collects water from where all over the constituency or the entire neighborhood, and they all end up in this main service drain. But obviously what you can see is nothing to be referred to as a service drain. First of all, it has become a refuse dump. It is choked and blocked, and so water cannot run through it. Now, people who live in the community, given us it is choked and obviously water cannot flow through it, have also turned it into everything else: a refuse dump, a fecal matter dump, and obviously you can see that people do some kind of open defecation in there. The fear for the residents, though, is the fact that when it rains, and we're in April, May, June, the skies would likely open and the rains will come to us. If it should rain any day, anytime from now, and we should have more than 20 minutes of rain, a very good rain indeed, then by all means, what we can say for a certainty is the overflow of this drain, and residents who live close to the drain are the ones who will suffer. What you have as part of the suffering to those who live close to the drain is the Kolebu Sempe Manche Palace. And the palace is in the distance. That would definitely get hit. And then you also have people who have workshops around here who will also get hit. We spoke to some of the residents who are around this neighborhood. Mr. Dakumpacho, good morning.
Morning, sir.
Mr. Dakumpacho, what's now brought so in Fieseni?
Oh, my better Sempe Palace, yeah, almost 18 years.
18 years. Mpacho obetna ha no na got away na etesen.
Oh, got no na emu da ho nsuo to flow. Oh, na say do say rainy season no bibia block a na got no start say yama ba we dey me hu bi da kra.
Me pacho me da say. Senior
too much. Say dey enya got bi mu. Me fan adan bola.
Me bi e kra for me.
Ni o fine
74 years. It will be a for me, be a no yo.
It will be a got an ole nyese kusani 74 years ne.
O fine got an be na afe. Jane ke yo. O ba ta flash o ba nyo coming pony o wo gbe bi sure ye mi. Shag bene all of us ade bi e ba chake. Ball and yami. Toilet yami no fe no ne hin. Aka wo mi ni wo jime ni wo yo na gbe. Ni ni efe ba dan ha wo. Shikawa na ni wo yue ajo wo. Ni 5 years ago nyi ba land akashi. No ko ba ni circle po no ni happy eje. Ete wo chu ami fe. Do me be ma na mi. Ntesu na ni Saturday. Wednesday na chu ami. E was anima kunsema nchumi ni bi 50.
So we also spoke to one of the elders of the Kolebu or the Sempe traditional area, and his name is Ni Laye Kolebu the Sempe Akwashon the First. And he had this to tell us about this drain and how that affects himself as well as members of his community. Ni ofaine na manye.
Yo manye banche.
Ni ofaine afie nye ne ni ohi Sempe mane.
Oh, e mane mi afomi ni bianto ni imba pension. No be yin fasa ni wo hin bi afomi imba fa gba fo nte imba nkuse. No fe magashin wona agbani wona ye neken gota na ji chuchuku blofo fe 1974 ji benin amefe ni ji walanza ni kwekeje tope ameke stop ko wojeme ni ke ale no me ma ifa to mo neken keji ale no dwe join baba be stop akweje ni keji join baje ni stop or join tankan se be ba low ni akaya ene sana akaya ni amefe another one we be she be antone ma ye ba fa ken mo ba ne kenu me ba low amehia join ke ba wo mi wo ni bi ni sana nye ya korle mi fe ya ke ka ni echi bo be wo be ni be ba gba wo ne ba wo hyen ba ya wo tujian mi. And
so that's been the Simpia question. Having spoken to Mr. William, who is also a resident, and then the Simpia question, the first, his name is Nilaye Kolibu. He's explained to us the history of this drain and what is necessarily causing the blockage or the choking of the drains. The assemblyman joined us, and so we're going to speak to him as well and also find out what he had done so far to ensuring that, first of all, his assembly members are safe, because this is a risk to health. It's a hazard to health, and no one is allowed to live in such a condition. And so, Honorable Assembly Member, please join us. Good morning, Honorable Tekuli. Welcome to GTV Breakfast once again.
Thank you.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. By
Wonderful. We're so grateful you've joined us. We've spoken to some residents. Mr. Williams spoke to us first, and then the elder of the community had also spoken to us, and they both seem to express the same sentiment. Why is this drain in this state, sir?
Actually, this is a major drain, so we have all refuse from upstream coming down when there is rain. Apparently, the attitude of the residents around the drain also has not caused or has caused the drain not to be in a good state because of the indiscriminate dumping of refuse into the drain by those around it. So that has been the bane of our community and of this drain.
Thank you very much. Some will argue, considering the state of the drain, that perhaps it may be bigger than what your resources immediately can deal with. What's your relationship with your MCE, the Greater Accra or the AMA itself, as well as your MP? What's the working relationship to help deal with this once and for all?
So, to be factual, my relationship with them is good. Severally, I've engaged them for this drain to be desilted. And every time, and then when we desilt it, then it wouldn't take long, and then it will be choked again. So that's what I'm saying. We've been working on it. Currently, I've written a letter to the AMA to help us desilt this drain. We also think that the covered portion of the drain, because the drain goes from this place under the street to another one that is connected to the Korle Lagon. We believe that under it would also be choked, and that is why there is no free flow of refuse from this side to connect that side. And so it's a big work to be done, and we will need the support of the assembly.
One of the complaints we had from some of the residents here is the fact that the Tuesday market, being just up a few minutes walk away from here, perhaps help in getting the refuse into the drain, and because it's blocked somehow, when it gets here, it gets stuck. One would wonder, do you have refuse receptacles at the market to help the Tuesday market women?
Sure, we have refuse receptacles there. I don't think that refuse from the Tuesday market finds its way here, because we have Zoom Lion on the ground cleaning the market each and every time. And myself, we've been desilting the drain in and around the market occasionally. The volume of refuse coming down here, I don't believe comes from the Tuesday market.
Finally, Honourable, just before we take leave of you, I think, and this is my thought, you may see it fit or not, that's entirely something else to discuss, but as we walked along the drain, we find that not only do we have refuse, plastics, car parts in the drain, but we also found fecal matter. Does that mean residents who live along the drain somehow do not have toilets in their homes?
Sure. Residents that live along the drain do not have toilets.
Thank you very much. Before I take leave of you, standing next to this drain and the stench coming from out of it is just unbelievable. I find it strange how people could live along, and for me, immediately it sends a red flag of health hazards. I want you to make a direct appeal, first of all, to your MCE or DCE, to your appeal, and then to the AMA, to, as a matter of urgency, consider this a health hazard and an urgent situation that needs something being done about it, just so that at least before the rains come down, you get the necessary help. Would you take that opportunity for us this morning, please?
Sure. I will stand on what you said. Really, the condition of this drain is very bad, and it creates a health hazard for those living in and around it. We will appeal to the MCE and Assembly to, as a matter of urgency, come to our aid to desilt the drain again. But then I want to add that if this drain can be covered for us, I think that will be something that will help us, because it's too open, and considering the volume of refuse coming down here, it is not health-wise, it is not good. So if it can be covered for us, we'll be also grateful.
So that has been the assembly member for this area who has also expressed perhaps a similar sentiment as myself and the rest of the residents who came to join us. I would also seize this opportunity to appeal to especially the MP for this area, as well as the DCE or MCE for this area, to, as a matter of urgency, take this up and help residents. It is a health hazard. Maybe you can't see the severity of it, but just right across from where I'm standing is the girls' dormitory for the St. Mary's Girls High School. And this itself is a deep, serious matter for students who may have come from areas or communities that do not have this kind of drains. And if they carry illnesses or diseases from here, they're going to affect their communities and their neighborhood. We also spoke to Mr. Jonathan Addy. Mr. Jonathan Addy had been very instrumental in our coming to bring you Keep an Eye this morning. Mr. Addy, fine morning.
Oh, good morning.
Fine.
Oh, drum on your jogba.
Mr. Addy, fine. If you make a got an boy, is an you ought to feel more famous. Table at any balanakan.
Ole, to my bonus statue, you got an war, break a bit over 60 something years a bien yo. Bien for me. You got an only been half a got an oh no, Miss Caden she got an a jane can yo. Shank been got an a choke about J several times can it be Caba J. Beko the last I could know about J. About Jenny. I when money I was something by then. It maintain me got an end on it. I'm a call got an end or any time you can look about no about Mobu. She here we are. I'm going to share and now you can near no. I'm going to do a John way the bar bad down. Got touch your 2 minutes. Oh no, it's a nice all.
With a bit of assistance from the AMA, we can be sure that this drain will at least provide some service as it should do for those of members who live in this community. This has been Keep an Eye coming to you from Kolebu or Lagon in the Ablekuma South Municipal Assembly or constituency. As always, my name is Darrell Alantego. Thank you very much for joining us.